further sun. And that's where I learned that 93% of all the water that people drink in the world was tested as of a year and a half ago. And 100% of that water had plastic and pharmaceutical drugs in it. So I said, well, how do you have a sense, to the top marine biologist in Sweden, to know this? He said, well, we looked at the North Pole and the South Pole. He said, we went to the most pristine waters in the world, little lakes and little brooks, little streams and rivers, and there they have plastics and pharmaceuticals. So my naivety, I said, nobody lives there. He said, have you ever heard of rain? Now, you may be interested, there's a documentary out that goes to the largest land dump in the world now, which has been floating for 20 years in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It's larger than the state of California. Do you know this? Okay, once again, how many of you knew this? Okay, so at least a third of you know. So the largest land dump in the world, larger than California. Have you ever seen how big California is?
Yes.
And for 20 years, when they go between Asia and the west coast of North America, they navigate around the plastic. It's made of plastic. There's a documentary you may want to see where they go down and dive. You see the degradation of the plastic, the fish are eating it, and they go above it, and you see the heat, where the water is being picked up from the ocean, is taking the vapor plastic up into the clouds, and the clouds now go worldwide. The pharmaceutical drugs do not break down for 100,000 years. So every pharmaceutical drug that's ever been taken in the history of pharmaceutical drugs mixed together, becoming not only the horrible radiation and the steroids and antibiotics and all these things, they now become multiple chemicals that we don't even know what they are. Again, through evaporation and clouds, they go up and they're spread globally. Now, with that said, there is not a drop of spring water in the planet Earth, including the top of the Himalayas, no less industrial Connecticut, that doesn't have plastics and heavy metals in it. The only thing we can do to be safe, unless you have incredibly large sums of money, which I hope I do someday, so I'd rather have what I'm going to tell you about, is you have to get a distiller. A distiller removes this. It takes the water, removes it from the particulate, and now you have pure hydrogen and oxygen. There's all kind of mythology, not from water science, about it, that it's going to rob the bones, that it's acid. All I want is hydrogen and oxygen. I'm not interested in all these other fantasies about water. We need water. 70% of your body is water, 80% of your brain is water. And a lot of you that feel goofy, you're dehydrated. It has nothing to do with dyslexia. It has nothing to do with some kind of a problem that you have in your head. You're just dehydrated. All you have to do is reduce from 80% of water in the brain to 78%, and you could actually pass out from that. As how many of you have ever been dehydrated here? You ever hallucinate when you got dehydrated? Of course. And that's 2-3% reduction in it.